Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, because there's a lot of them out there, right? No matter what that condition is, we want everybody to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And here on Invisible Condition, we know that life can be tough sometimes. We get it. Depending on what invisible condition you live with, life can be really interesting. I am no stranger to that, so I totally get it. Most of you, if you've been here for a while, by the way, if you've been here for a while watching, thank you for being here, and you know my story. You understand, man. It can be crazy. At the same time, there is always hope, always hope. And so, if you are out there watching this right now and hope is not a thing for you, if you feel hopeless, if you feel like you are not where you feel like you need to be, join us. Hope is a better place to be. So if you need help with that, reach out, and I'll put an email address on here, and I would be more than happy to help you with that and show you where the hope is, and tell you where I get my hope, and maybe that'll help you. So I also want to talk to you about our nonprofit. Our nonprofit is called Hydro with Hope, and that nonprofit is geared towards helping people with a condition I was born with, which is called hydrocephalus. And it can be a really crazy condition, and so we wanted to be kind of that boots on the ground help for families that are dealing with that condition. So we created a journal, 150-page fill in the blank journal, so that people could have somewhere to emotionally download all the things that they're dealing with while this whole process is happening. And there's a lot of practical stuff in the journal too, as far as like medical record keeping and who's your neurosurgeon and who's your all the things. And so that journal is important, and I want to get it into the hands of everybody living with hydrocephalus. So if you know somebody that needs one, let me know. And also, if you would like to donate, hydrowithhope.com, we appreciate it. That'll enable us to be able to get more journals into more people's hands. So thank you. And if you want to help on a deeper level and want to maybe be part of our board, if you have some amazing, unique fundraising ideas or want to contribute in some way, then I will put this on the screen. Just email me. I would love to schedule a call with you and talk and to see where we can go. And then as well, also, if you want to get the message out for your company to our tens of thousands of viewers every month, I would love to talk to you about that as well. If your product or service would align with our audience, I would love to get that out and find a way to help you grow your business through our show. So thank you very much for that consideration, and let's do it. Let's dive in, man. I am super excited. This is going to be a little bit different show today. It's going to be cool. So for those of you that have been watching for a while, you know that we bring on somebody from Chronic Illness Solution, which is an amazing organization in Colorado that we've been working with for about a year and a half now. And you've seen Michelle on here. You've seen Bryce. We did a quarterly special with the whole crew. It's like 7 of us on the show. Today we have Kris Blacksmith, and Kris is awesome. You're gonna love this guy. Where is it? There it is. Kris came to be working with Chronic Illness Solution while he was, there was a lot going on for Kris when he came to initially work with Chronic Illness Solution. So Kris has been really questioning his identity since he was a teenager. Questioning came from both, the sexual orientation side or the gender identity side, and not to mention he had an invisible medical condition that he was dealing with. And so there was a lot. He had a lot going on. And so through his work with the professionals at Chronic Illness Solution, he's healed his body, he's healed his mind and his soul. is in right relationship with God. And it's so cool to see his transformation. And this healing journey led him to leave a lot of things in his past that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that he has changed in his life because of Jesus, and because of his relationship with the amazing folks at Chronic Illness Solutions. So I don't want to take too much time. He'll tell his story better than I will. So let's bring him on. Let's kick this off here and bring him on the show. You probably recognize him from the quarterly special, but hey, Kris, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to dive in, man. This is going to be cool.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeff. I'm excited, a little bit nervous to share, but excited to share about this. So.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little when we were talking about what we were gonna do today. I was doing a little extra grounding, man. I was like, okay, we're gonna be diving into some uncharted territory for the show here. So everybody that's been watching for a while, by the way, we're so glad that you're here, and also. Wherever you are on Facebook, YouTube, those are the easiest places to comment. If you're watching on E360, awesome. You can email us at the email that I had on there before. But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, and something that Kris and I talk about today is like, whoa, hold on. I haven't heard that before, or that's not what I learned, or that's totally against what I know, or how do I learn more about that, or what, just throw a comment in there, and we'll be more than happy to reach out and have a discussion. You can get on Kris's calendar right here, Chronic Illness Solution. Just scan that QR code, and you can get on his calendar and talk with him as well. So about the health program, or really anything else you want to talk about. So let's dive in, man. The one thing that You want to kick things off and tell people kind of what we're going to be talking about, and start your story off, and let's do it.
Okay, yeah, let's see where to start. Okay, I'll start with some other background stuff that we may or may not have talked about on the show before.
Okay.
I majored in psychology in college. I had a huge focus on brain development, on the what is nature versus nurture, all of those kinds of topics. Those very much interested me because of my personal life, and I also almost became a counselor. I did a master's in counseling for a year. Wow. I've been trained as an LGBTQ plus cultural competency trainer. I helped run a nonprofit in the community for 2 years that I helped build from the ground up. So I have a lot of knowledge around this. And so that's like, okay, for the audience and for people who are watching, I don't come to the conversation lightly. This is purely my own experience, and I love every single one of you, whoever is watching this. And that's to remember the focus is on love, from me, and from the Lord.
Right.
So, okay. So now I'll go in and jump in on my, it's important to say that when I was little, like when I was like 5, 6 years old, I distinctly remember telling my family, I want a wife and I want 2 kids, 1 boy and 1 girl. I remember very distinctly that was my dream. That was what I wanted. And then when puberty happened, that was very confusing and weird, because I had an attraction to other boys that was not there before. And I'm 34. Okay. So we're going to start with that, just for any younger people. I know older people who are watching this will understand, but just so that people know, I'm 34. the internet did not exist when I hit puberty. There was no, I couldn't look stuff up. I didn't know what things were. I just knew that boys and girls date and boys don't. And there was something wrong with that. That was what I knew. And and then my introductions to the term gay were bad. Like this, you make fun of each other for being gay, whatever that meant, because I still didn't know.
No, I remember that when I was a kid too. It was like, oh, you're so gay, and it was, we threw that around like it was just like a joking thing,
which it was like, what does that even mean? So I struggled with that. I started puberty when I was 10. So I struggled with that for a long time. And it was one of those things where you transition. There was no, because of when I started, 5th grade ended, and I didn't get any education on what was happening to me until 6th grade started. So I had a whole summer, no idea what was happening, which I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. And couldn't really didn't feel comfortable bringing it up with my parents, all that kind of stuff, all the normal things that we developed. So through my adolescence, I was constantly questioning. I was very depressed. I was suicidal because there's something wrong with me. And I can't fight this. Like, it's something that's just here. I don't know what to do about it. I don't come from a religious household. My parents were the parents who were like, we believe in God. If we had to pick a denomination, it would be, I can't even remember what they said. But they were like, it would be this denomination, because I had friends who went to church who would ask, and I was like, I don't know, go to church. I did, however, have I liked listening to worship music. I had an interest. I asked for a Bible when I was a kid for my birthday or something, because I was like, I want to know more. And then it was the King James version, which is an awful version for a child. You
didn't know much, because that is one of the most confusing. Don't give a kid a King James Bible. That's
it was horrible. So I didn't have a religious background. I didn't have anything with that. My only experience with Christianity was when I think I was 16. They were trying to pass gay marriage. And I overheard the Westboro Baptist Church on the news. All people who have attraction to the same sex are going to hell. There's nothing that they can do about it. God hates them. We hate them. Like that was the conversation.
No, I'm familiar with Westboro Baptist.
So
I think a lot of people are probably pretty familiar with for that group.
So lots of hate there. So that brought about a lot of self-hatred and a turning away from God. There was an internal decision of, well, if God hates me, then fine, I hate God, and I'm going to go find something else. And I spent many years searching for a different religion. I never really liked anything that I found. But I was like, I'm pagan. I do witchy stuff. I'm like, that's all. I'll use the energy of the earth and whatever.
Searching, basically, you were searching.
I was searching.
You were looking anywhere, everywhere for something.
Yes. And so I never dated a guy. That was something that never happened. I went through all of high school. I tried dating girls, it didn't really work. Because there was no interest in trying to maintain the relationship. And then I got to college and I met my ex-wife. And then I was even more confused, because then I was attracted to this person who I was going into college thinking I was gay, and maybe I'd figure that out while I was going through college. So then that was even more confusing. And I learned about all the different labels, which I will not get into labels. Like I said, I was trained in LGBTQ plus cultural competency. there was a 17-page document with all of the different labels that people use. And that was not all of them, because new ones are being made every single day.
Of course, right. Yeah.
I will talk about labels at one point, just so people know where I identified. But at that time when I met her, I had also met 2 gay men who were dating, and they were like, well, bisexuality is a thing, right? And I was like,
oh boy,
I didn't know that. So then it was like, okay, so I guess I'm bisexual. I'm attracted to both men and women, and so I'm going to date this person. And I was with her for 9 years, 8 years into our relationship. When I was doing my counseling master's, the way that the program worked was a lot of like, I compare it to the military. It's like, we're breaking you down so we can build you back up.
There you go.
And so in the breakdown and building back up, I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of depression. I also had a lot of like, I don't feel comfortable as a male. I don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't feel comfortable with things about myself. I don't feel comfortable in men's clothes. I don't feel comfortable with any of it. So then it was like, oh my gosh, am I also a trans person? Which was a whole other thing.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was in my 20s that I was like, okay, am I this? And I explored women's clothes. I grew out my hair and tried different hairstyles. I went on estrogen for a while, a very low dose. I did all the things. I was not happy. I was happier during that time, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And this is condensing so much, because there's so much in there. And it's an entire life story. It's like,
I understand.
I
understand.
When I divorced my ex, I got to explore who I was without another person, which was a big part of this, teasing out all of the different things. I worked with Chronic Illness Solution at first on medical stuff, and it helped with my mental health as well. I was no longer depressed and anxious going through the work. And then it was just discovering more about myself, and how did I feel about my body and all of those things. And so it was like starting out in that, with constant love and support from Michelle, who was my coach throughout all of it. There was the freedom for the first time. There was the freedom to be open and curious and explore. Like, there's no judgment here. There's no like, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about being attracted to this? What is going on with you? And through all of it, it was like, okay, I was helping with the nonprofit, so I was very entrenched in that as well. This is how this works. This is where you go. This is, this is how gender works. This is how sexuality works, which is all very scientific. It's, it's all based off of your genes, along with nature versus nurture. There's stuff about how many children did your mother have? Where was she at in her hormonal cycle when she had you? All kinds of different things like that. So there was a lot of science behind, okay, this is why I'm like this. But again, still not happy. One of the biggest things that brought the unhappiness was, even in the community itself, I didn't feel the love. I felt fear and anger were the things that I was surrounded by, I was in. Every day was, oh my gosh, they just talked about this law that's going to affect a bunch of people's lives. We're so scared. What are we going to do about it? Oh my gosh, this kid got kicked out of their house. How are we going to support and help them? We want to help companies be more inclusive. Here, we're going to start doing this cultural competency training. Let's talk to businesses about how we can get this into their
Yeah.
Into their companies, and lots of pushback on, well, we don't want to spend money on DEI and stuff like that. So it was like, it was stressful, and it was a lot. When I got to a level of comfortability with myself, that was like, okay, no surgeries, thankfully, nothing that I wanted to. I stopped taking the estrogen because I didn't like the shifts that were happening in my body. Yeah, I was like, I don't like this either.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, pause for a second. What do people need to know about?
I'll tell you what, Kris, let's pause for a second and go to a break. And then I think we're at a good spot for that. So this is a really good wind up to kind of what we're going to, where we're going to go from here. Cause there's, yes, this was the background, right? And all the confusion and all the, what do I do now? But you figured it out. Like so we can talk about that too. Like, and for those of you out there that this is ringing a bell, that it's like, oh, he's speaking my language, man. This is like, yes, I have, because that you're not the only one out there, Kris, that's dealt with this. So let's take a break, and then you can kind of gather your thoughts a little bit, and then we can pick up in the second segment, and we can go from there. So, all right, here we go. Before we go to so I'm gonna take you off the screen, and then we'll go to the next segment here in a minute. So thank you so much, man. I know this is a crazy subject. So I'm thank you for doing this and being here. So all right, here we go, guys. What I want to talk to you about is actually our newest sponsor, and our newest sponsor is actually. Oops, I should probably take that off the screen before there we go. All right. Oh, and probably this one would be better right here. There we go. Now we can see it. Order coffee here. You want to order some coffee. I know you do. So just a little background here. I have been a coffee nerd for years. Okay. Full-fledged coffee nerd. Weighing the beans, weighing the water, making sure we get the combination right. Like, I'm a nerd. Okay. If I love great coffee, like if a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date on it that's within the last couple of weeks, I don't want anything to do with it. And so that's why I'm so thankful for Mike at Roast to Order Coffee. He gets it. The crew at Roast to Order gets it. They roast our beans fresh. They ship them to your door anywhere in the US, and they're always coming up with new amazing, or ideas, right? Varieties, flavors, types of coffee, types of delivery for coffee. Like if you don't have a coffee maker and you have like a Keurig type of thing, they got you covered. So if you maybe like the Ethiopian light roast, if you like the espresso drinks more, if you like decaf flavored coffee, he's got you covered. He listens. So he started off just doing a few, and then his customers were like, hey, what if we did this? Hey, it'd be nice if you had that. And he listens. And so he has such an amazing variety now. There's something for everybody. He's got everybody covered. Also, gift cards. Okay. Christmas is coming, everybody. It's not that far off. So there are gift cards that you can get from them, and coffee subscriptions are also available. It is, go to the website and check it out. It is amazing. It's a wonderful place, and the coffee is incredible. I'm drinking some right now. That's what's in this cup right here. So I'm drinking his Colombian right now, the Colombian roast, and it's fantastic. So join me, and life's too short for bad coffee. So use the QR code, and your first order will get you 20% off. So looking forward to seeing, and then let me know what you think. Like, send me a message. Let me know what you think when you get it and taste it, because you're going to love it. I promise. It's awesome. All right, let's go to a break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
Welcome to live TV, everybody. The button pusher hit the wrong button. That's me, by the way. I'm the button pusher. So oh man, every once in a while, 2.5 years on the air, and I still once in a while I'll go, oops, oh, okay. So, whoa, push the wrong button there. Anyway, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. No matter where you're watching, if the first segment was like, oh man, do I have questions? Facebook and YouTube, easiest place to comment. So also scan that QR code, and we'll be talking a little bit more specifically about chronic illness solution here in a little bit. But if you have questions that you want to address with Kris specifically, just scan the QR code and you can talk with them. So the background we got in the first segment is important. So go back and watch that if you missed it. But yeah, where do we go from here, man? Where's the next step in the story?
All right. So next step in the story is finding out that all of the what the pagan community would call intuition, all of the intuitive things that I was feeling and hearing were actually God. That's the next step in it. Because I could not have made the transition that I did in my life if I had not healed my relationship with him. So forgive me if my terms are off, but in contemplation prayer with God, with Michelle, there was a time where he just flat out said, and yes, I am the Christian God. Yeah. And there was a lot of anger and a lot of other things that came up with that, which like what, how is that true? How can I reconcile with this, with everything that's been happening? But I knew it was true because he had been working with me through Michelle on, this is what it feels like when God is speaking. This is what it feels like when there's a yes, like this is what truth sounds like. So it's like, okay, yeah, this is him. So it was a big shift in my life. I mean, I got rid of all of my pagan stuff. I started going to church. At the time, I still was like, I'm attracted to men, and I'm consider myself labels for anyone who is in the community and would like to know. The labels that I went by were non-binary, trans, feminine, demisexual.
Okay.
Yes. All that means is I did not identify with the gender I was born into. I identified more with female, but didn't want to transition into a full female. And demisexual is attraction to a person and their personality, not necessarily their gender.
Okay. All right. So that was how you identified before.
Yes.
That was your label. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And then you started then you and Michelle were working together, and you were working in prayer, and you were working and realizing that God was speaking to you this whole time.
Yes.
You just didn't recognize his voice. So then what?
So then I started discipleship with Stephen, and learned more about God, learned more about the Bible. He lives in Texas and was coming to Colorado for a men's retreat, and asked me if I wanted to get baptized. Nice. And my response was, I don't know, God, do I want to get baptized?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and obviously it was a yes. So I was like, and of course there were always conversations of like, you have free choice, you get to choose whether you do this or not. And I did choose to get baptized. And since my baptism, which it was approximately 3 weeks after the conversation of yes, I am the Christian God. After my baptism, I felt like a completely different person. Nice. There was a lot of trauma work to get to the place that I was able to be. So I'm not saying after my baptism everything was removed, but after my baptism I felt very different, and it opened the door to the trauma work and showing me that because of trauma and abuse, I had rejected masculinity, and I had been introduced to sex too early in life by a man, a adult man, when I was 5. That I still don't know who it is, but I did have a lot of trauma work about like having flashing images, having like things that were said to me, and it was like, okay. So those were the root of how I ended up being where I was at. And the trauma or the abuse, because it's all trauma from abuse. So my dad was always very angry and always drinking when I was a kid. And I still love him. He's still in my life. But there has been a lot of recognition of this is why I feel this way. So I didn't have a good masculine role model. And so I rejected masculinity and said, nope, I don't want any part of this. The other boys around me didn't act like a good masculine figure. Their dads weren't good masculine figures. Like I'm sure it's very common for lots of people that they didn't.
It's really common, and that it is, and that also leaks into your relationship with God, because if you're supposed to be, if God is your father, right? Father God, right? So that really, really messes with some people's perception of my dad in this life, my earthly dad is terrible. So why would I want to associate that with God? So Yes. Yeah. So that was one more thing to work through, huh?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was working through that. And there was a lot of there's been a lot of like reclamation of myself and reclamation of my body. And I am like where I am at now. I don't have attraction to men. I don't have questions about my gender. That has been completely removed through the combination of the experiences with God and the work with Michelle and Stephen.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning, and there's still lots. I go to church every single Sunday. I'm starting a small group for more discipleship, like doing all of these different things to learn more. But it is like I am the happiest I've ever been. I have learned how to set appropriate boundaries with my abusive ex-wife. And that's a whole other. That's a whole other. So I mean, there's there is a lot of trauma in my history that would not normally be recognized as trauma because my parents were like, we went on family vacations every single summer. We read books aloud together. I would tell people in college about how my family was, and they were like, your family's weird. Because outside of the family looks like we're all like, it was like this perfect cohesive, we all hang out and stuff. And then more found out about it. I was like, oh, well, maybe not so good in all yeah. So that, I mean, that was where the root cause for me came from, was there was sexual abuse when I was little. So I was introduced to the good feelings that are there physically. Yeah. With only a man. And then because little boys are little boys, that was perpetuated in like interactions that happen because people are curious about each other's bodies. Right. So it's like that kind of thing just continued. So
but it sounds like that is a lot of what you worked through with between Stephen and Michelle and prayer and the program that you with Chronic Illness Solution. I mean, it sounds like all of that came together to basically work through all that with you and be patient and because there's no confusion now.
No, there's no confusion now. That was actually one of the things that it was a fun experience. It was also very interesting too. So one of the things that I did after I came to the realization, and it was like right after I was baptized that this happened. Nice. I told people who were close to me who would understand. I still haven't had this conversation with my parents. That I am a straight man, and I said it like that, like I am a straight man, and it was very liberating and very lifting to say it.
Nice, yeah.
And Michelle's response was, "I know," and she cried. The difference here is Michelle would have loved and supported me no matter where I was at, whether I had chosen to stay with the I'm attracted to men and I'm a trans person, or I'm on the path that I am now. Yeah. And that's the biggest selling point I have for any families who are watching. If you have someone in your life who's a part of the community, telling them they're going to hell, telling them they need to repent, telling them that God does not approve doesn't help.
Yeah.
They have to get to that stage on their own. And obviously there is a stopping point for churches, for families,
Yeah.
where you aren't able to continue to support them because they do marry someone of the same sex, and that is against his word.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you don't continue to bring the love, because I felt nothing but love from God throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of I love you no matter what from him as well. I would never have gone to church. The church that I go to is wonderful. We had a volunteer appreciation night last night, and I told them that I was coming on this show and doing this. And our pastor was like, "Oh, please give me the link so I can see it when it comes out." And I was like, "Well, of course."
Absolutely.
But he was so touched to hear from me that they were a part of that journey and that realization.
Yeah.
Because when I came to the church and I was dressed in women's clothes and I had the long hair and my nails were painted and I was obviously a part of the community, there was not a single person in the church who wouldn't talk to me, who were rude, who hid their children from me, anything like that. There was just love and acceptance of, here is a person coming to our church. We hope they become a part of our church family.
And yes, I love that, because yes, we know there's absolute truth and we know what the Bible says about all of that. At the same time, Jesus was never going to kick somebody. I mean, he associated with tax collectors and sinners, right? That was like, at that time, it was like, oh, you do what? You don't do that. That doesn't, just because somebody is living in sin doesn't mean you kick them out of your house and don't talk to them anymore. You love them anyway, and love them into the truth, basically. Right. I mean, that's what happened with you. Because because if Michelle had said, oh no, nope, come back when you get yourself figured out, man, then we'll talk, no. It was all about, she accepted you as you were, and then also moved you to where you are now, which is, amazing. I love it. So that's awesome, man. So what is the message for those that are watching that are maybe, I mean, this is become such a part of our society now that there are probably thousands of people watching that are in that boat, that are like, you know what? I'm totally hearing what you're saying and I totally get it and I'm there. What would you what would be the first thing you would tell them? Where would you tell them to go? What would you tell them to do to find what you found?
Okay. I would tell them that this is a road of inner work and inner healing, and that it's not overnight.
Yeah.
And that it is something that as you heal and grow, you learn about who you truly are without all the stuff that's been piled on top of you from different situations. I have talked to other people who have come to the same realization as me. And it's another person who thought that they were trans. I've talked to two people who thought that they were trans. And when we had the conversation about the experiences with our fathers, it was similar. And so it was like, okay, there's a similar stream here. And that doesn't mean that is the same for everybody, but it is like, there are patterns here to look at.
Yeah, for sure.
And to heal yourself is you cannot do it alone. You need people outside to help you with a perspective. So I would encourage you to go to the other perspective, to talk to other people. I would never have gotten to this realization if I had stayed only talking to people in the LGBTQ plus community.
Right.
Because there is an entrenchment in the identities that are created there and are, it's like, I am this person. That's who I am. And it's like, well, are you that person? Or are you a person who's had stuff layered on top of you and you've got a filter that's changing your perception of who you are?
Right. And it's covering up your true identity. Because that's what it is. It's layers upon layers on top of what your true identity is, covered up with all the stuff that the world is telling you. Am I
yes. Yeah.
Kind of on track there? Yeah.
Yeah. It's the stories and the patterns that have been in your life that lead you to being the person that you are. And the thing to remember is there is nothing wrong with you. You did nothing wrong. God doesn't think you're wrong. He loves you always, no matter where you go or what you choose, because that is his agreement with us that he's had since he came in person as Jesus and died on the cross, is I will love you through it all. So remember that there is that love there for you, and that it is a full acceptance of who you are. And he wants you to have a personal relationship with him. Right.
And in order to fully step into that personal relationship, you've got to get your identity right. Basically, you've got to get it. God will help you do that. I mean, God, your identity is in Christ, and so, love them where they are, and then help them, is what I'm hearing. So my question though, honestly, I've been wanting to ask you this the whole time we've been talking here is, did you finally get a Bible you can understand?
Yes, I did.
Did you finally get one that you can read and actually not King James? Okay. I just wanted to make sure somebody got you one that you could understand. Okay.
Yes, our youth pastor at the church bought me a Bible and a cover and a whole bunch of other stuff, and wrote a beautiful letter to me. So yes, it was one of the things. I am reading the New International Version, and yes, it is much easier to understand.
Yes. Okay, good. That's perfect. Okay, yeah, that one actually sounds like English. Yeah, it's I love King James. I think the translation our church uses is New King James, so it's a little bit more, But yeah, some of those translations can be tough to understand. So I'm glad. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Well, I tell you what, man, we got about 3 minutes left because time flies when you're, having fun. And what is the message here? I mean, we've been talking about a lot of stuff and a lot of uncomfortable stuff, and there's been probably questions on people's minds that have popped up during this episode. What is the thing that you want to leave the audience with today?
That this is a topic that is heated. It is a topic that has become political, and it is a topic that has been warped by hate.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing to remember is to always bring love into the conversation, no matter which side of the fence you're on. People of the LGBTQ plus community, please stop making things like "Who would Jesus hate?" bracelets and please stop condemning Christians as a whole. Yes, there are people who use the word of God to bring hate. That's not his intention, and that is not Christian's intention.
That's right.
And for people on the other side of the fence who are in the church, please look to your Bibles and see how many times it's mentioned that God loves us, loves everyone, who Jesus walked with, who were the people that he accepted. Because when he was here, he was not going to the kings, he was not going to the nobility, he was not going to anyone who had high status. He was rejecting the synagogues. He was not doing any of that. He was on the streets talking to beggars, talking to the lepers, healing people, talking to the dejected and the rejected, and bringing them love and healing. And that's what our focus is as Christians, is to bring love and healing to those people. Standing outside of a pride event with a picket in a picket line saying you're going to hell is not helping you. It's not helping them. It's bringing everybody further away from God, which is not what he's wanting or asking us to do.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yeah, it's loving enough to hear what you are saying, where you are, and then helping you get where God wants you to be, really. So, yeah, I love it. This has been good, man. This has been. I know how big of a subject this is and how controversial this can be. So I'm thank you, Kris, for being a willing, to tell your story and be so open and to say what needed to be said, even if it's not easy. So. And seriously, everybody out there, I mean, if you have questions, if there's things that this brought up for you that was like, oh, we want to talk to you. That's what the QR code's for. That's what, comment in Facebook and YouTube. And we'd be more than happy to continue the conversation after. So Kris, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story and being so open. And I'm sure we will see you on another episode with Chronic Illness Solution with us here. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Okay. We'll take that down first. There we go. All right. Holy smokes. Okay, guys. That was not our typical episode. So I am so glad that I mean, what a topic, what a thing to talk about. We needed to talk about that. And so thank you for being here with us to talk with us about that. And seriously, if you have questions, reach out. We would love to talk to you. Kris would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you. It is a topic that has polarized a lot of people. And so, and that wasn't our intention today. We wanted to bring people together. And so I hope that that's what we did today. And, join us for our next show too, by the way. Today is, we're in late October already, mid-late October already. Join us for our next show, which will be October 24th. So, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you then. And I'll look forward to bringing another amazing story to you. And until then, have a great day, and we'll see you soon.